What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about money saved is likely to be spent. Meanwhile, money invested is likely to stay invested and grow and multiply and cash flow. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos. Subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. Try out some G Fuel energy formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. And of course, last but not least, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. If you refer one friend, they're going to give you and the person that you referred each a free 20 bonus stocks for the referral. And if you refer 10 friends, which I know sounds like a lot, but just click the little invite button, send it to 10 human beings that you're aware of. It's quite literally that simple. They're going to give you either $1,200 or $2,500 of free Apple stock, which you can keep and hold on to, or you can sell and use the cash to buy something you'd rather have instead. Webull link in the description. Everything is linked in the description. Okay, so today I want to talk about saving and investing. I want to talk about personal finance. Now, just a little disclaimer on my end. I do have a savings account. I know the title of the video and most of what I'm going to be saying in the video will be talking about how most people probably aren't going to be saving money, nor should they, in my opinion. Not a financial advisor, but rather investing instead. And I do have a savings account, like I said, even though I don't ordinarily believe in savings accounts. Right now, I am saving up for a larger investment, and I'm also making the most and taking advantage of high rates right now. High rates, high interest, high yield savings account, and a CD account. But that said, I like to believe that I'm a little bit more disciplined with money than most people, and that's not to necessarily pat myself on the back, although I am very bad at a lot of different things. I'm very good at a select few things, and one of those select few things just happened to be money. So I don't think the title of this video applies to me, because it absolutely doesn't, and it hasn't, and it never has. But for a lot of other people out there, cash sitting around in a savings account is very likely to be spent. What I have always said is that by putting those dollar bills into an asset, whether it's a physical asset that you can hold in your hand, like a lot of people like silver coins or gold bars, that's a good example of what I'm talking about. Not necessarily in terms of growth potential, because I think other asset classes are way smarter if you're looking for growth, as opposed to just simply storing value and preserving wealth. Physical silver and gold coins, rounds, bars, or whatever, I've always referred to that as a money spending deterrent, because you're going to need a middleman. If there's some stupid thing that you want to buy at the store but you don't have the cash, you're going to have to say to yourself, you're going to have to inconvenience yourself into going all the way home, digging out your silver and gold, going all the way to a coin shop, exchanging that physical precious metal for paper currency, then going back to the store to purchase what you wanted. That's like 5 steps right there, and by the time you even get to the second step, you're probably not going to want to do it. It's a money spending deterrent, which I've always said was a great thing. That's one of my favorite things about silver and gold. Well, very similar can be said about money invested. Very similar can be said about stocks, index funds, because you're probably not going to sell off just for the sake of buying something that you don't need. If you're in a situation where money's tight Your assets are there for you for that reason. You can sell at any time, whenever you want, and use the cash to pay for what you need to pay for, rather than using the cash to buy something completely unnecessary. You're probably not going to sell your position with the S&P 500 just to buy some stupid sneakers that you don't even need. You're probably not going to go and inconvenience yourself into selling your gold bars just to buy some stupid car modifications that your car doesn't even need in the first place. You're probably not going to do that. But having cash on hand, it's very easy to spend. Cash sitting there in a savings account can just go up, and you could just take the cash out. It's not locked in there like it would be with a CD account. It's not stored in a gold bar, which you would have to go to a coin shop and exchange back for cash. It's not invested in an index fund or an exchange traded fund or an individual stock, which you'd then have to sell through your brokerage app or website or platform, and then transfer the cash fund to your checking account to then withdraw and then take to the store to buy. You're probably not going to do all that. You might if you absolutely need to, and if you're in a situation where you absolutely need to, doesn't it make you feel good knowing that your assets are there for you if and when, God forbid, you ever need them prior to retirement? Makes me feel good. I sleep very well at night knowing that my portfolio is there for me, God forbid I ever needed to dip into it. It's there for me. So what I like to do is diversify. From 2017 to maybe 2021, my first step was silver and gold. Starting in 2019, or for the most part 2020, that's when I kind of introduced myself or was introduced to the stock market, and I've been all in ever since. My investment strategies have transformed over the last couple of years, starting with more of the blue chip individuals and slowly kind of transitioning over to being predominantly focused on index funds, because I realized, I was like, oh, okay, I don't have to look for the needle in the haystack and find the right individual stock. I could just purchase the entire haystack or a portion of it and know that the needle's in there somewhere. Now, I do this a couple of different ways. I have a taxable brokerage account, which is where I got started. That's where most of my invested money is. But I also have a Roth IRA, which was step 2 in terms of investing for me. A Roth IRA is one form of a retirement account where you take your dollars that have already been taxed, after you're already paid. You can then pump them into your Roth IRA, let them grow. If you invest them, let them grow, and then when you're at the age to retire, you can cash out completely and totally 100% tax-free with a Roth IRA. Now, I'm going to give a couple of other examples of ways that you can invest as well, but I just wanted to offer a friendly reminder to make sure you download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you 12 or up to 12 free fractional shares just for doing so. I hope you can see that. I don't even know if you can. They're going to give you up to 12 free fractional shares just for downloading the app and funding your account. If you refer one friend, they're going to give you and the person that you referred each 20 free bonus stocks. And if you refer 10 friends, they're going to give you either $1,200 or $2,500 a free Apple stock, which you can keep and hold on to, or you can sell and use the cash to buy something you'd rather have instead. Webull link in the description. Reason I bring this up as a reminder is because on the Webull app, you can set yourself up a Roth IRA, which is what I was just talking about. You take your post-tax dollars, you put them into the Roth IRA, you invest in whatever stocks or ETFs and index funds. I would recommend ETFs and index funds. Let them grow. Tax-free gains. You do not have to pay taxes on your Roth IRA gains so long as you are of the age to retire. So for me, I have a couple of decades to go. For you, maybe you do as well. Maybe you have less time. But there's no limit. It's not like when you turn 60, you're forced to sell. No. You can keep it going. You can keep it growing. Another form of investing is the 401k, which is something that I've always wanted, but I wasn't working a job that offered it until starting a little over a year ago. And when I hit the 1 year mark with my company, I became eligible for the 401k, and I have been contributing 5% of my pre-tax dollars that have not been taxed yet. I've been contributing 5% every single pay period since I opened this up. Why 5%? Because my company offers me a 5% match. So every 5% I put in, it magically turns into 10% with only taking 5% out of my pre-tax dollars. It gets doubled. So let's just say I make $1,000 a week, and 5% is $50. Only $50 gets taken out of my pre-tax dollars, but all of a sudden, $100 appear in the 401k, and it gets invested. It's a blended fund. It's a target date fund. It's something that I will not be touching for the next 30 plus years. So yes, I'm growing my pre-tax dollars. It's tax advantaged in that way. Sure, you have to pay taxes later on, but it's tax deferred. And it gets the snowball rolling even quicker by putting pre-tax dollars in there, because pre-tax dollars is a larger amount of dollars than post-tax dollars. Plus, a company match, free money that gets invested. Free addition to the compounding. Here's another example I'll give. Something else that I recently, or I don't want to say recently discovered, but recently started involving myself in. An HSA. This is a health savings account. See, the Roth IRA and the 401k, they're both tax advantaged. They're double tax advantaged in different ways. The 401k, or the Roth IRA, it can grow tax-free, and then you can sell without paying taxes. That's the double tax advantage right there. The only downside is the dollars that go into it have already been taxed, which isn't really much of a downside in my opinion, but it's double tax advantage. 401k is also double tax advantage, but in a different way. Pre-tax dollars go in, which means dollars that have not been taxed yet, and it can grow tax-free within the account. That's the double tax advantage. The downside, which isn't, in my opinion, once again, not much of a downside at all, it's tax deferred, which means you pay taxes later on down the road, which is okay with me. And HSA is triple tax advantaged. It's like the 401k and the Roth IRA had a baby. Triple tax advantaged, meaning pre-tax dollars go in, and you can open up an HSA as long as you're enrolled in a high deductible health plan. That's all it takes. Triple tax advantage. Number one, your pre-tax dollars go in. Number two, it can grow tax-free over the course of years or decades or however long you have this account. And three, you can sell and use these dollars completely and totally 100% tax-free, as long as it's for qualified health/medical expenses. It's a retirement account. It's not something that you're supposed to touch until you're 60 or older. And when you're 60 or older, rather than when you're in your 20s or your 30s, let's be honest, between a 20-something-year-old and a 60-something-year-old, which one is probably going to be more likely to have higher health expenses? Probably the one who's a little bit older. In most cases, that's what happens. So the HSA is designed to take care of your medical expenses, whether it be a trip in an ambulance, whether it be buying crutches, whether it be prescriptions, surgeries, things that your insurance don't cover, things like that. Qualified medical expenses, qualified health-related expenses. That's what the HSA is for, and it's triple tax advantaged as long as you're using it for something like that. for doctors and hospitals and medications and stuff like that. That's why, or that's how it's triple tax advantaged. You might be wondering, well, what if I get older, 60, 70 years old, and my health expenses are kind of minimal? I'm blessed and fortunate enough to not really have a ton of, physical situations going on, and I don't really need to spend all of this, 20, 30, 40 years worth of HSA dollars grown and invested. Like what then? Well, in that situation, you can use the HSA as somewhat of a secondary 401k. You can sell the pre-tax dollars that grew tax-free and pay taxes on your way out the same exact identical way you would a 401k, and use those dollars for anything on the planet that you want to do with them. So these are just a couple examples of ways that you can invest your dollars and let these dollars grow tax-free, because dollars invested are far more likely to stay invested than dollars saved are to stay saved. Just something to think about. Just wanted to put that out there. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos. Make sure you get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. We got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs, and a bunch of different designs. The DYDSS store will be linked in the description. Try out some G Fuel energy formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. Sugar-free, low-calorie, packed with a whole bunch of vitamins. Over 50 different flavors to choose from. This is Miami Nights, my #1 flavor. This is the one that if you're going to try one, try this one. Absolutely delicious. Link in the description, $5 off your first order. And of course, last but certainly not least, once again, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. If you refer one friend, they're going to give you and the person that you referred each 20 free bonus stocks for the referral. And if you refer 10 friends, they're going to give you either $1,200 or $2,500 of free Apple stock, which you can keep and hold on to, or you can sell and use the cash to buy something you'd rather have instead. Webull link in the description. Everything is linked in the description. Once again, head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.